How the heck are everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this week's edition of Should You Summon. This is a weekly video and I guess now stream that is released as a video since I did a stream as well last week in which I answer the question for all spending types, all in-game progression types. Answer that question, should you summon? Let's answer it. We've got two pretty darn cool banners that we're cooking with this weekend. I will say, let's just address the elephant in the room. We all busted last week. We had two of the three best banners we've ever had at the exact same time. I think basically everyone shot their load, for lack of a better term. Some of us content creators have re-upped. A little bit of last month's diamonds arrived, or 2 months ago's diamonds at this point. I mean, it's something. I'm not complaining at all, but a lot of people aren't in that situation where, the devs got back from holiday and then you got your delayed CC compensation. I appreciate that. So I think most people are looking at something like this, 32 summons. That's what I've been able to save up, which is actually kind of a lot, I feel like. I guess the Valentine's festivities have continued, but people are going to be faced with this question. Though basically because we are live, we are going to do a live Q&A element to this, just like we did last week. People really seemed to appreciate that. So I'm gonna do like a normal breakdown of, should you summon. So I'll go over kits briefly. I'll just talk about the heroes. I'll talk about the 1+1 because we do have two boost up banners. These are good banners, don't get it wrong. A lot of people, like I said, are probably a little dry right now, don't have some big stack of summons and stuff. So it is going to be a big decision, and does seem like we have some big stuff on the horizon. I will also say, this is a to a T rerun, exact rerun of when we got the Valeriya Brokkir banner back. I believe, I want to say it was September 15th. So 5 months ago exactly. Maybe it was October 15th. I actually pulled it up here. Let me get a picture for you guys so I can show you. Should have had this ready, but that's life, baby. Let's go. Let's go to has a photo because I did just send this image to someone. Yes, here we go. So I got this from Cold Brew's video. I didn't make a video on it at the time. He did. He was excited about this banner, rightfully so. I would say I slightly slept on Valeriya back then. I was like, she's gonna be good, but I didn't know how she'd make this immediate crazy impact on the game. Kind of saw her just as like a guild boss hero, a very good guild boss hero. But wow, did she turn out to be awesome? So we'll talk about that in a second. But let me show you guys this. So here you can see if I take it out. There you go. So this is, look at that. You almost didn't even see that I took the picture off. This is the game picture. And this is, let me move me out of the way. This is a picture from Cold Brew's video. Shout out to Cold Brew. Cold Brew's YouTube video from, he posted this on September 13th, 2023. It is identical. I didn't even mean for it to line up that nicely, but I mean, look at that, man. Look at that. It's exactly the same. The epics in the same order. Drop rate of the hero increases it to 10 times. To its 10 times. That's weird. Heroes increase to its 10 times during event. All right. Drop rate is 10 times higher. It's the exact same thing. And you see the exact same epics in the exact same order. Interesting. So it probably was because they're on holiday, so they didn't have time to update the new patch file. There you have it. Again, shout out to Cold Brew. He's honestly, I've mentioned him a lot in very, very positive things he's done for the community recently, right? He was the one on top of Brokkir. He's the one who said, this guy's crazy before anyone else tested him. And I went back and looked through a bunch of people's videos trying to find a picture like this, and I found it in Cold Brew's video. So shout out to Cold Brew. Really, really good guy. Also from Cyprus, just like Lucifer. So unique thing going on there. Anyway, let's talk about the actual should you summon the kind of things. Let me just pop my Explorer back up. Okay, so here you go. We've got three very good epics. Let's be honest. These are all three extremely usable epics. Two of them, Brienne and Amani, are two of the best epics in the game, I would say, especially in terms of DPS. And then two very, very strong legendaries. It's a really good banner. I would say this is like the dream banner if you started a week ago, right? Or 2 weeks ago. Maybe you picked yourself up a lust. Now you're still getting all that new player stuff. Maybe you're a bit of a spender, so you spent a little bit. If you have 100, 200 summons to bust on this banner, I mean, I'm gonna be saying bust for the rest of my life now. It's very strong, right? So let's talk about Valeriya. Let's talk about Brokkir. Then we'll talk about the epics. I do like all three of these epics, but we also have the 1+1. So 1+1 is a very, very exciting banner, I would say, for many people. You get two shots, two bites at the apple, as I always say. But there is some math I want to explain to you guys to try to understand if you do think it's the right banner for you. Because it kind of is a wash between these two banners if you're going for strictly high-end heroes, and I'll explain that shortly. So let me sniffle my nose. I'm a little sick. As you do, we'll do it live, baby. We'll do it live. Okay, let's talk about these heroes. So actually, as you can see, Valeriya and Brokkir already went live here. So you can see, let's start with Valeriya. Valeriya's really good. She actually did just experience a nerf. This kind of was the nerf that is totally acceptable. It's supremely frustrating, but totally acceptable because there was something that was written in her kit and then it just didn't happen. It was a bug. So we'll get into that as we encounter it. Let's start with the talent. Actually, let's start with the base stats. Really has great base stats. Really, really, really great base stats. Almost 26,000 HP, juiced up, so she can actually, she's got a nice little health pool to work with. Almost 6,200 attack, one of the highest in the game. I believe when she was introduced, her and Lugaru. Let me check. I think Lugaru. I love saying his name the new way. Lugaru. It means like werewolf in French. I think it's literally just a portmanteau in French uh, of wolf and were or whatever the I don't know wolf and moon. Maybe that's what it is. Look it up. It's cool. If it wasn't a live video, I'd overlay it right now. But someone can let people know in chat, or you're watching in the future. You can Google it up. Let's find Lugaru. There he is. I think they have exactly the same base stats if I remember right. Yeah, so 6172, 25,905. I think is it identical? Is it also 25,905? Yeah, it literally is the defense too, 2203. And they came out right about the same time. 22. Wow, that's 512 on the magic reds too. Sorry, now I'm getting distracted. Was I just looking at her? That's crazy. What the heck? Like, what if this one was a bloody, angry wolf, and what if this one had box braids? It really answers that question. Are these box braids? I actually can't. Maybe they're just really tight, normal. They're like somewhere between box braids and cornrows. She looks good. But yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, Loop Guru are two different words, says Seamus in the chat. She looks really cool, and she's a very strong hero. And even with like the kind of rework that happened to her, she's still great. So let's start with the talent. Increases attack and defense based on lost HP up to 60% at 30% HP. So this is the chaotic part of her coming alive. And it does work that way really well. If you've got like a Carnelian, like what a nice pairing, like running a chaos team, especially since this nerf rework thing that they did, bug fix, whatever you want to call it. Basically, if she's at 30% HP of her max HP or less, she's going to get the maximum benefit here. So a nice chunk of defense, but most importantly, 60% attack. And I do believe this is post deployment. I actually haven't tested it, so if anyone knows, you can let me know. But regardless, it's super strong because even if it was a pre deployment, I mean, it's such a high pool. Let's go to the basic attack here. Very simple, 120% damage when skilled up to one enemy. You know what? I have Valeriya. I have her A0, so it's actually probably easier if I just pull her up now because she's just A0 and I did max skill her. So she's really good. Don't regret it. Let's go to the ultimate here. Blood Infusion. Damage 120%. This is when she's skilled up. Damage just is up 120%. Each attack consumes 10% of current HP and generates one stack of Power of the Sword, stacking up to 8 stacks. The hero cannot be healed during the skill. Now, this is what's annoying now. That's what they kind of fixed. When the skill ends, deals 400%, 440% burst damage to the main target and 4 targets around them. This is something going back to I thought she'd just be a great Guild Boss. You can do like crazy damage, right? Because that's a lot of burst damage when she's skilled up. 900 cost, 700 initial cost. It's just very, very good. Let's talk about Power of the Sword. Burst damage to the main target increased by 50% with each stack after the skill ends. So when that burst happens, if you have maximum 8 stacks, so this is without awakenings, the bonus you can get is 8 stacks. I think it goes up to 12 with awakenings. We'll get there very shortly, but now I just want to know. I think it is 2 stacks, up to 12 stacks. There we go. So during the ultimate, you can get a stack of 2 twice more. So when she does that final burst, it will remain the 440% unless there's some other modifier from awakenings. But let's say unawakened, like I have her A0. And then if you can get all 8 stacks, and keep in mind each attack will get you that. And she won't kill herself, as you'll see, because of unyielding, or at least won't kill herself during the ultimate. Um, that will be a burst of, let me do some quick math here. So what did I say? An extra 50%? Is that correct? So another 400% damage. So she'll get all the plus 120% damage. Really, really nice stuff. And at the end, she'll do a big burst. That's 440% to surrounding enemies when it explodes, up to 4 targets around a main target. So 5 enemies total. But that main target is going to get 840%. That's juiced up. Call it what it is. He's really good. He does big, big, big girl damage, right? Smashes one enemy within 2 tiles ahead. This is her passive plunging slash, dealing 300% damage. She does physical damage, guys. Inflicting vulnerability, physical damage when you skill it up. Actually, it always is 20%. I thought I skilled that up to make that happen. I did not. During the ultimate, each attack reduces plunging slash's cooldown by 3 seconds. So typically the cooldown is going to be 20 seconds and it lasts for 10 seconds. So really it can happen every 30 seconds. It's something people I think don't understand in this game. actually, do I understand it? No, I'm mistaken. I'm mistaken. So this is a part I'd cut out if I was something like the duration of the debuff is 10 seconds, but actually what it is this lasts for 3 seconds, but the cooldown is 20 seconds. So this again, I can talk about it, but I was about to say the wrong thing. So every 20 seconds this can happen and it lasts 3 seconds. While it's happening, that 20 seconds is not running. So it's not like it can just cycle every 20 seconds. It cycles every 23 seconds. However, each attack during the cooldown is going to during the ultimate is going to reduce the cooldown by 3 seconds. It's a pretty good uptime on this. Valeriya is like the perfect example of you need to build her fast, or certainly if you don't run her in a nightmare team like with a Wrath or a Corridor or something. This is where she was fixed, right? So this is the interaction between her unyielding, the not being able to get healed, and then her not dying because now she really dies. All right, so when HP drops below 30%, restores 6% HP per second, triggers the following effect instead during the ultimate. So if her HP drops below 30% during the ultimate, she enters an unyielding state. Upon taking fatal damage, she dies immediately when the ultimate ends, which can be triggered up to 1 time per deployment. So getting that unyielding or getting the health regen up to, or no, the unyielding exclusively is 1 time per deployment. It used to be he didn't die immediately, and actually always did say that. So I will say this is not something, it sucks, but you haven't seen a complaint video. Apparently, I'm the biggest complainer in Watcher Realms. The comment sections have been letting me know it. But I can't complain about this, and I never would, quite frankly, because they did just kind of fix it. It's annoying though, especially in Guild Boss. I've done takeovers recently using her. One of them, I just decided to bench her because not that she isn't great, she still is, but it's just so much harder to use her now. The way it used to be before is the unyielding would trigger, and then your Vortex or your Hollow or your Eloin, someone would heal her back up, right? And then she'd be good. But now this is happening. When she enters the state after taking fatal damage, if she enters it, it lasts for, let's see. They're not saying. I guess it's just during the duration of the ultimate. Yes, exactly. But when the ultimate ends down, she does just die. And it is very annoying. Now to the thing that, regardless of that change, other changes will allow Valeriya to just continue for a very long time to dominate a big portion of the game, and that is this thing right here. Reduces the hero's cost in arena by 4. So Valeriya is chaotic, so chaotic people have those nice masteries. He's only 17 cost, which is pretty light for a fighter, especially one that, even though they're single target, has some nice AoE damage elements. Combine that with when you get the passive over here, you can see I move my gear around all the time. Sorry, she's not geared, guys. You can see it's going to go down to 13 costs. I stopped seeing a lot of comments with Brokkir and the stuff going on with Brokkir, excuse me. We'll talk about him in one moment. With Boreas and the stuff going on with him being like, well, now they're going to address Valeriya. They don't need to address Valeriya. Valeriya is not overpowered in every inch of the game. Not that I think they needed to as aggressively address Boreas. However, Boreas in arena, Valeriya, excuse me, Valeriya in single target arena, holy guacamole. I run for my single target Silas, Ardia, and Valeriya, and it is about as easy a GG as you're going to come across, especially with, and I just want to address something else with the Boreas saga. People talking about how Boreas needs to be nerfed in Arena. I don't disagree at all. But then someone also made a comment that was the problem with Arena isn't Boreas, which a little bit of it is, but the problem with Arena is Arena. Arena's just a mess. And what we need to address that. We need to talk more about it. It is the least fun, at least for me. I'm speaking subjectively here. I'm saying my opinion. It's just a hot mess, man. It really is. The defenses never hold the intuition of autos and the timings of it. Like when you have it on auto battle, when your defense is doing with the ult, it's rough out there, man. Dolores with Dolores RNG. Are you kidding me? Apparently, people are saying this is kind of going to be remedied in the next patch. We'll see it. We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. But yeah, Valeriya just super good. Hits really really hard. Actually very versatile. She can be really really good in Void Rift. You can use her early on in Gear Raid 1 up to like 19. You could use her. Definitely up through 18 very comfortably. You could use her when those nightmare teams are still pretty meta. Gear Raid 2, I probably wouldn't, but the unyielding could be clutch. If you timed it out well, she could maybe take a hit from the speedrunner guys, formerly known as the Roly Poliolies. But really, she's not going to be a gear raid hero. She's going to be very good in Void Rift. She's going to be very good in Guild Boss, and she's going to be exceptionally strong in single target arena. She also looks really cool. She doesn't have jiggle physics, so that makes her very unique. Her armor is actually functioning the way armor works, so that's always fun to see. Let's talk about Awakenings, and then we'll get into Brokkir. You can see here A1 during the ultimate increases attack speed by 100. Exactly the same A1 as Silas, just on a different kind of hero. But it does feel like sometimes she's kind of like single target melee Silas. I guess Silas is single target too, but she's like the melee version of Silas for some content. She certainly used to feel like that. She felt a lot more overpowered before they fixed the issue in their kit. People are saying you can use her to nuke down the boss at the end of Gear Raid 1. Yeah, Sure, I get you can. It's like more of like the same way you can use Nocturne, right? It's more of a niche thing. It's not it can work, but I'm not gonna say pull for her to help you with that, because this is a should use summon at the end of the day. Now her A2 plus 5% attack. This is a lot better than plus 300, right? Because plus 5% attack for her, um, at these crazy things. Let me do the math really quickly. Yeah, that's gonna come out to over 300 because 5% of 6,000 would be 300. So you're getting the better bang for your buck here with the 5%. That's really nice. Her A3 and on is when it gets crazy. Her A3 and her A5 during the ultimate ignores 20% of the enemy's defense. She already has crazy high attack. Attack minus defense is like the core of every damage calculation in this game. That's nuts, right? That's just nuts. So when she's doing her ultimate and doing her big girl damage, the plus 120%, and she's getting her power of the sword stacks, 20% defense. That's crazy. Crit rate plus 8% is nice. It helps to build her. And then her A5. During ultimate, there is a 50% chance to accumulate 2 stacks of power to sword for each attack, up to 12 stacks in total. It's just really good, right? So let's read it before. You're getting 1 stack of power sword per attack. Now you're getting 2 per attack, and instead of going up to 8, it goes up to 12. It really changes her as a character and makes her like stupid broken. So if you've ever found an A5 Valerian arena, not fun. It's not fun. Not fun at all, actually. There you go. That's Valeriya. She'd be the main reason to summon. However, I use Brokkir way more. However, Valeriya is rare bucket hero, so her typical rate's going to come in at like that 1.7% on like a non-rate up banner. Brokkir is common bucket hero, so it's like between 3 and 3.2 depending on the banner. But he is exceptionally strong. Is he geared at least? He is. He's actually in like my best tank gear. So he's got very high HP, very nice defense. You can see it leads to very easily getting crazy builds. This might not look too crazy to you, but in a Guardian set, that's pretty darn nice. You can throw your little Bastion ring on him. I really do think he's the second best tank in the game. I think it's not a conversation, in my opinion. I know people love Olog, but when you get later on in the game, I'm telling you, this is just a beast of a hero. Number 1 is gone. People forget that he's also just an incredible tank. I think because he's super rare and he's a legendary lord and he does so many other cool things. But I would still put Gon at number 1 with some of the crazy things with block and stuff going up in his kit. Brokkir is really good, and if you can get Brokkir A1, which is where I have him, he has proper crowd control. So let's actually go through him really quickly. But I'm just going to tell you from the get, in case you want to tune out already, because I've been going for a pretty long time. But this is live, so I'm going at a more leisurely pace. I wouldn't summon for these guys. I just wouldn't. I don't see Valeriya being the needle mover worth not continuing to save, especially if you, I should say this, if you have the summons and you want to summon for them, do it, especially if you're early or mid game. But I will tell you, if you're mid or really late or end game and you just used up like all your summons, I wouldn't go like spending on this. Brokkir, is he my favorite tank in the game? Yes. Is he immediately easily replaced by Regulus or Baron or Olog? For most content, yes. I actually didn't build him for like over a month after getting him, over a month, maybe 2 months, just because I didn't feel like I needed to. Finally, I was like, all right, let's build the guy. He'll be my best tank. And he is. And he is. But I don't think it's worth it. And Valeriya, at the end of the day, guys, most of you aren't going to run a chaotic team, and most of you don't care about arena. So you're going to use her as a nightmare fighter. If there's one thing this game has, it's nightmare fighters. Is Valeriya one of the very best? Sure. But like you might have Salazar, you have Wrath, I guarantee, for free. Lugaru is cracked out now, right? Arrogance just was on a big banner. Kaneza, honestly, is solid. Not comparable, but solid. A lot of you just pulled Lust. Are you really going to break the bank? I mean, I actually got it. Let's take a step back. Let's actually pause the music just for 1 second because there's a few points I want to get to, but it's all kind of occurring to me now. I don't even think they're trying to make money with this banner. Music? Oh my god. Have I been two tracking the whole time? Guys, just tell me that. Yes, I've had music on the whole time. That's pretty funny. I did a collab with Ivy today. If you guys missed it, go check it out. But yeah, I forgot to put a track back on because I film separately for videos. Obviously, I film everything together for streams. Thanks for the heads up, Aliboba. But yeah, I don't think we just had a guarantee, our best exclusive hero guarantee ever. It's a very, 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 very strong Nightmare Fighter. Then they bring out a Nightmare Fighter on the next banner. They just announced the first ever traditional time-gated, limited classic fusion, right? So you get a bunch of rares, you fuse them into epics, you fuse them into a legendary. He's not here yet, but he's coming, I believe it's March 22nd, so like in exactly 4 weeks. And that's for Crowdor, who is a tank. And not just a tank, but a really, really good, really solid North Throne tank, just like Brokkir. Brokkir's still going to be the better tank, but so it's literally just, we just had, for people that saved, a free exceptionally strong Lust. And then people are gonna, that want to and are on top of it and follow my content and other people's content or just prepare themselves, will get Crowdor. So why would you pull for Brokkir? What a choice. What a choice. Well, now you guys can hear that we have had music the whole time. We can get back into it. That's crazy, though. It's really sinking in that they're not, and they're straight up rerunning it, as you guys saw from that picture from Cold Brew's video I shared. It's a direct rerun of just over 5 months ago. 5 months and a week ago. So I think they're telling you already. Like, if you actually break it all down, they're telling you not to summon. So let's actually go a bit faster. Let's just break down Brokkir's kit. I do love Brokkir, so it's a fun opportunity to talk about him. Then we'll talk about the 1+1, and I'll show you just a touch of math. How you doing, Tasmaniac from France? Enchanté. So let's look at the talent here. He's got the nice base stats. Reduces adjacent allies' damage taken by 10%. That's really nice. So he's got some utility there. That includes himself as well. Heroes inflicted with freeze, reduced damage is increased to 30%. That's really, really nice because he can freeze himself, so you can kind of control it. We got the basic that here, deals damage, who cares? The ult here is very nice. Gains freeze, so he freezes himself. The long boy freeze, it's a 10-second freeze, and a shield equal to 80% of his max HP. This can go all the way up to 120%. So if you build him with 100,000 HP, he'll get 120,000 shield. So he'll have like a 220,000 health pool. That's super, super strong. The effect will disappear when the shield, the freeze effect will disappear with the shield. So, you know, it lasts as long as the shield does. So you can improve the shield strength. It is kind of costly. You can get up to 900. You can get a touch of initial rage. You see, at the beginning, he starts with no initial rage. You can get up to 400. He's so strong, it doesn't matter. He also has like an unyielding, unkillable kind of thing in his kit. You get a passive here. Receiving damage is a 10% chance to inflict freeze. This goes to a 15% chance on 2 enemies in range. If the hero has freeze, the chance will be increased by 20%. So what does this mean? Anytime he's ever getting hit, if you skill him up, he has a 15% chance to inflict freeze on up to 2 enemies in his range, in front of him, basically. 2 enemies that he's blocking is how you can think of it. There's a 35% chance when he himself is frozen, so when he freezes himself from this or from the next passive we'll talk to. He also can get freezes out with the A1 too, so he can have a nice chunk of crowd control. He actually fit really well with Boreas. RIP. No, I'm just kidding. We have no idea if the changes on Boreas are actually going to come to global, how they'll manifest, and even if they're going to be... I'll tell you right now, I will be shocked if they nerf him to the point of being unusable. People are saying, well, I wasted the blah blah on the character. You might feel like you wasted because he won't be as strong, but there's no world where he's not still pretty darn usable, especially with freeze heroes. But it just won't be the same level. Let's see how the duration of the freeze that he places is. 1 second. Alright, it is what it is. When receiving fatal damage, so this is where he gets his version of unkillable, unyielding for the first time. So it's the first time it happens in battle, and then it won't happen again. He's going to gain freeze. Again, it doesn't say it, but it should. I don't know if it's a big boy freeze. Maybe, I guess, worst case, it lasts for 8 seconds. He's totally immune to all damage. Can't die, right? And he can be healed back up. It's not like Valeriya's unyielding. Super strong. Gets to last 12 seconds with skill ups. He's just a tremendous tank. Really high base stats. He actually has a nice chunk of CC, especially once you get him A1, as we're about to see. He gives a lot of help when he's inflicted with freeze to surrounding enemies. I mean, that's really nice. It increases to 30%, so him and everyone in squares touching him have 30% reduced damage taken. That's all damage, physical damage and magic damage. It's just excellent. It really is. He's just that good. He's really worth the hype, in my opinion. If we go over here, A1 inflicts freeze on up to 5 enemies around when the shield from the ult is gone. So when the ult ends, the shield pops, he's going to inflict freeze. And it's a pretty nice freeze, 2 seconds, up to 5 enemies. Quite nice. That allows him to get healed back up a bit if he needed it, if you trigger the ult because his health was getting low. And if the healing didn't help during, that gives him a little opportunity. A2 plus 1200 HP. Nice. You know, his HP is what the shield scales off of. HP is king for tanks in this game. A3, when the hero is inflicted with freeze, increases received healing and shield effects by 20%. That's really nice. So if he's about to die and he triggers that passive, he freezes himself, right, for 8 to 12 seconds, depending on skill ups. In that time, he'll get 20% improved healing, so you can bring him back alive essentially, and he can keep on keeping on. And then his shields. So this also is his shield placed by like the Gwendolyn's and the Vortexes of the world, but also his shield. So if you have a shield, let's do the math. So it would go, oh my god, math. So it'd be another 24%. So if you have max skills, he gets 120% HP shield. So now it would be 144%, right? So it'd be 20% of the 120. The 144% shield is really, really good. All damage reductions, this is kind of typical. The legendary version, so it's plus 8%. That's really, really good. And then here, when Iceberg expires, 100% heal. 100% heal, baby. So Wrath has a version of this, that when Wrath Unyielding expires after the first time, when he's A5, he gets a 50% heal. Brokkir is kind of like, as Ivy would say, hold my beer, and he does a full health restore. Really, really nice. However, by this point, if you already, I guess if you're very early and you wail and you get him, then this is usable. But like if he has the damage reductions and you already are getting the 20% increased stuff and shields, as long as you have a half decent healer, he should basically be at 100% by then, I think, nearly. Anyway, cool stuff. I love Brokkir. I think it's gonna go for me. I know people are obsessed with Olog, and I won't be as hot takey, but I would say it goes Gone, then Brokkir, and then I would probably, my gut wants to say Regulus, but we can do Regulus and Olog as a tie. Because certainly, maybe just if talking about overall game progression, certainly Olog, because he's so much easier to use. But later on, you take my word, if you build Regulus, you will use him more than Olog. Or certainly I do. I certainly do. Well, there you go. That is Brokkir. Just talk about the 1+1. I do not think most people should pull on this banner. Let me actually turn the music off for a second so I can just be hyper-focused. So let's just go through the spending groups. Free to play, I think no way. Unless you're like brand new. Like if you're brand new. Because like I said, Valeriya's not going to help you push your gear aids and stuff. Not really. Brokkir could, but like you can get away in gear aid 2 with far less exceptional tanks. I mean, Livian is free and she can do everything he can do. Brokkir's only going to be like a superstar shining guy for you. In like a Void Rift kind of situation or something. He's kind of like a luxury good, not a normal good for you economics, you econ heads out there. And yeah, Valeriya, I do think is kind of a luxury too. I mean, if you're early on, she would totally change your account. But just we know some of the banners that are coming. Artemis is coming soon. I think that would be more of a game changer. We know it's based on the announcement of Crowdor. I think what I've been warning you guys about is going to happen, and we are not going to get Helga as a fusion. Helga was so positively received on Forerunner, and I mean that's them using Forerunner correctly, right? They kind of test her out there. I tested her on Forerunner accounts. I mean she's so good, like she'd be a cracked out fusion. I hope they still do her as a fusion, but I feel like the announcement of Crowdor means she probably won't be, and she'll be on a banner. She might be right there with Valeriya, but I'd say with PvE content, she's going to help you a bit more with certain things, you know, like Styx boss. She'd be better. And I do think she probably would have a bit more viability, and she's more unique because she does magic damage, and that's such a high burst rate. It might be a wash there, I guess. But with Artemis coming, and it seems like Reeve is going to be, based on like the little breadcrumbs I've been picking up and what I've been hearing, it feels like Reeve will be the next exclusive hero. So that would be in April because they seem to do every other month. That's what they've been doing so far. Free to play, I think, unless you're brand new or somehow you skipped Lust and Arrogance, I just don't think it's worth it. But it is a very, very good banner. Let me actually just quickly say, amazing burst, mix like a hybrid between single target and AoE. One of my absolute favorite marksmen in the whole game, regardless of rarity. I use Brienne as my main DPS all the way through 318. I had Agil and didn't even need to build her because my Brienne was so good. You're going to want to get her A1 so that you get the penetration, the physical penetration from her multi-shock. All of her awakenings are really good, and you definitely are going to want to skill up her ultimate. This is really nice too, the split shot. She's just great. Amani was my first 6-star ever on my account. I think newer viewers might not know that. Go back and check out my free-to-play series. She was a hard carry. She has single target burst for early and mid game. She hits so hard, especially if you like strategically use her deploy passive here, and you are going to want her at least A1 so she doesn't weaken herself. And then eventually you really want her A3. Great awakenings on Amani, but she's got such an amazing boost from her passive. If you use her right, I didn't have AoE mages till like day 44 or 43 when I pulled Comet, so she kind of served that purpose. This is before we all got greed for free. OG baby. But she hits so hard and eliminates people so quickly. with this combination of her ultimate with her passive that it kind of feels like AoE. She's just like a delete button. She's insane. Zukania just featured her as like his primary DPS for taking out Seer in like a very free to play friendly Epics only Nightmare Void Rift boss run. He did the whole Epics thing and she was featured heavily. He did both rotations. She's exceptionally good for an Epic. I did not regret 6-starring her at all. And then Yankar is basically a tank. If you have Comet, he fares perfectly because whenever he's blocking, he's applying Curse, so that synergizes super well with Comet's kit and some of like the passives in there. His base block, don't get confused, it says 2. I don't know why, to this day, I do not know why they present people in the gallery at level 1, no promotion. No one has ever wondered. Let me know, chat. Have you ever wondered, I just pulled, oh, cool. I pulled Nocturne. I always wondered what his attack was at level 1. No level ups and no promotions. Oh, wow. Okay, it's 476. All right, I'm going to remember that. That's pretty good to know. No, everyone wants this, right? You want max level because it's aspirational. You want to see, all right, if I decide to build this hero up, what do they look like? This should be the default. And then if they want, it feels like a waste of code or something. I don't know how it works, but the toggle should be like base level. But who cares? Like, who wants to see this? Sorry for another day, but like, who's ever been like, oh, no way, dude, I got Ardia. People say Fastidious says she's one of the best heroes in the whole game. I wonder what her attack is. Whoa, 795. It's like, who cares, dude? Just show us the freaking max. Show us that big ass number, baby. Come on. That's what we want to see. Okay, but let me show you now. Rant over. Let's go to Yankar. If we go here, max level, you can see he actually has a base 3 block, even though he's a fighter, which is really cool. If you get a Lunacy Visor on him, that gives an extra block, so he has 4 block. It's like his version of the Bastion Ring, the formerly known as the Olog's Wall. He's got pretty nice base stats. I mean, they're okay. Okay, let me phrase it this way. They're really bad, but whenever he's blocking people, he's placing Curse on them, which means they can't do their basic attacks. So he actually does feel exceptionally tanky. But you can see, and I guess it's probably a balance thing. I'm sure they did a good job of it. I'm assuming because it feels normal when I use him, but it's like 16k attack. 16k HP feels like really low. You feel like it should be like 20, 21, 22, 23, you know. But if he's never getting hit with basic attacks, maybe that's where it should be. And then defense feels really low. It feels like it should be like 32, 3,500. But yeah, that checks out. He can do a bit of damage because he is a fighter. Yankar's really slept on. I used him at 5-star without even that good of gear. He was my main tank for Esotericist 12. He's definitely probably the least, especially for newer players. That's who's going to be looking at the epics. He's the least desirable of this bunch, but it's a good epic bunch. And this is just every single, all 5 heroes in this banner are good. They're all like above average heroes. You know, how good it depends. You know, so we've got like 2 basically borderline S plus heroes for what they do over here. Exceptional archer, exceptional marksman, exceptional mage for epics, and then just a very solid, very unique fighter tank guy. For most people, it's going to be skip. So free to play, almost certainly a skip unless your brand spanking new. Same thing is going to go for low and mid. So yeah, we do free to play, low spender, mid spender, dolphin, whale, krakens, do whatever the heck you want. Thank you for supporting the game. That always will ring true. We can throw the music back on now. I'm feeling better now. So I would say, yeah, so everybody basically it's a skip unless you just have this affinity for these heroes or somehow you have a bunch saved. Otherwise, I would hold. Or if you're new, go for it. I mean, this is basically a banner you can't swing and miss on. If you're like week 1 or through 4, this is just a home run banner. You have to go for it. That is what I would say because you're gonna get some of these rate up heroes and they are all good. Different degrees of good, you know, from Yankar to Valeriya, but good nonetheless. Excuse me. So now we're gonna have we got to talk about the Dolphins and the Krakens. I think Dolphins I'd probably skip too. If you're a newer Dolphin, then totally go for it. You probably want to snag a copy of Valeriya. You'll have to get a little bit lucky. And I would say Brokkir, I do love him. I do use him in like everything. He's my main tank for everything right now. So he is pretty darn cool. But keep in mind, Brokkir is common bucket, so you probably will get him eventually from something like the 1+1. You have an 80% chance to pull him when the rates are normal, right? To pull that rarity group, I should say. Far more likely, twice as likely, basically, as getting someone like Valeriya. Moving right along to whales, I'd probably go for it if I was like a proper whale. Like, so I rate whales. I normally have the graphic that pops up on the screen. Obviously, we're live, so I can't do that. I rank whales as like 250 to 1,000 a month. If you're in that more like a 500 plus, and you don't have A5 Valeriya, drop some money and try to get her. I mean, you saw her awakenings are cracked. If you're a whale, you probably are more interested in PvP stuff, and she's amazing. He did take a hit, especially for PvE, with the way her unkillable, the way her unyielding interacts now. But she is really good. So if I was a whale, I probably would go for it, at least lightly. I think, yeah, crack and see what you got to do. Let's talk about the 1+1. I think I touched on all the game progression modes too. I would say, actually, if you have not so much saved, but you kind of feel like you have a bit of everything and you want to do better in Arena, so I'm talking like endgame people, I mean, Valeriya's insane. Like, when I got her, that's the only places I use Valeriya are Arena and then my speed runs for AMR, where literally I think she saves me 1 second between her and Wrath, so it doesn't even matter. She is good, though, especially if you're progressing. She's amazing. But single target Arena, she's a goddess. So let's go to Surprise Invocation of Spirits, everybody's favorite banner, the 1+1. Let's do a little math, and then we'll go right into the Q&A. So guys, let's see how many viewers we have. I haven't looked in a while. Oh, sweet, 132 viewers. Guys, if you have 142, okay. If you guys have questions, get them ready, and we'll start the Q&A in about 5 minutes. So I'll try to keep up with the chat. Let me throw on display mode very quickly now. Just want to do some math. Have I had the should you summon thing on the screen the whole time? That's a yike. I hope you guys could see enough of what I was talking about. Let's go here. Let's just go. I can just use the search bar, all right? This is so funny. This is just my life, man. I had a sticky key today. I needed a happy birthday cake for Ivy. I just searched for texture backgrounds. My N button was the sticky button, so then I practiced once I thought I fixed it, typing things with N. Someone said I didn't know what political verbiage was, so I was like, all right, let me look it up, and I was right. I shouldn't have doubted myself. But I was like, let me go check. So I did that. And then, yeah, that's my life. Okay, so you have basically with normal rates, roughly, it's just over or just under, depending on how they've adjusted their little adjustments each time, roughly a 0.8% chance, an 80% chance, if you do pull a legendary with no rate up banner, that legendary is Common Bucket. So if you haven't seen that, you can go back and watch my old videos. But Common Bucket is like heroes like, the best heroes in Common Bucket are like Cerberus, Calypso, Nocturne, Brokkir. Those are like the stars. And then lots of the heroes a lot of you guys don't like Crash and Azor and Shamir, stuff like that. So then, what's the problem? They're getting angry about Incognito, whatever. And then the rare bucket are the ones most of you guys want. So that's where you would get a Valeriya. That's where you get an Arrogance. That's where you get a Steal 2. That's where you used to get Brokkir before they nerfed his rate further. That's where you get Comet now. He used to be Common Bucket. He's not anymore. That's where you get Silas now. He used to be Common Bucket. He's not anymore. So a lot of the most constants, a lot of the best heroes in the whole game. So you actually would only have a 20% chance to get them. However, with the 1+1, that's happening twice. So if you're doing you have this happening or this happening with 2 chances, it's going to be multiplicative, right? Or actually, I said that exactly backwards. You wanted the chance of this happening and this happening, or would be plus, but and it's multiplicative. So it's this probability times this probability. So what we're looking at here is you want to find the chance that we're going to pull 2 Common Bucket heroes in a row from our 1+1. That's going to be an 80% chance of 0.8 times 0.8. So you can do the math already in your head, but it's going to be 0.64. So you have a 64% chance that you have 54% chance that you're going to pull on your 1+1. That's almost a 2/3 chance that you're going to get 2 Common Bucket heroes. They could both be Cerberus, but like more often than not, it's like Regulus and Ezrein, right? I've literally had those pulls, right? The other day I just got Crash and Calypso, I think it was. No, Calypso's cool, but there you go. And then you can see here, so then if you want to know what was my chance I get the rare one, it's just going to be 100 minus 36%, 64%, so it's 36. I was getting ahead of myself, but 100 is for people that can't do math in their head. 100 minus 64, so you got a 36% chance, right? You can also think of that as 1 minus 0.36, so 0.64, 64% chance, right? So it's about a wash as like if you're working with a banner like Arrogance and Lust, right? They had an 18.5% chance, so they had a 37% chance every time you pulled a legendary. So if you pulled 2 legendaries, right, you'd have that twice happening. So you actually were more likely to get those rare heroes if that's what you wanted. Here you're looking at like a 1 in 3 chance that you're going to get one of those rare heroes, and they might not be the ones you want. Granted, that's not factoring in the chances to also get Lords, to also get ultra rare like Hotsit, and at least for now, Boreas. So you guys can think about that. I am right on the fence. I have yet to decide, and we can kind of do it there. And I really think so let's say if you're not at late game yet, so if you're trying to progress, you haven't done your 19s yet, 19s or 20s. If you're not trying to progress your 19, or you've already done it and now you've moved on to 20, I think everyone should go for the 1+1. Because just even 2 good normal legendaries could be the difference, right? If you pulled a Sadie and you pulled a Regulus, that could be totally worth it. There's a lot more things that could really change your account. Otherwise, I think it's still probably good to hold. I think it's the first time ever to skip a 1+1. For me, I kind of want that A5 Calypso, and this is actually a very good time to go for it, aside from like a Calypso banner. I did get my 20,000 diamonds today. I've saved up a bit, but I don't know if I want to. I'm on the fence about it. I will also open the floor now to anyone interested if you want to. I haven't talked about if anyone wants to do a pulse party tomorrow. I haven't checked if people are interested in the 1+1. If people want, we can do a 1+1 pulse party tomorrow. I'm leaning towards that. I'm gonna go for it. I'm leaning towards it, but also like I don't know. If I pull like 2 Abomination, like I'm gonna lose my mind. Yeah, people are also saying this is something Ivy talked about in an Arrogant Soulstone. To me, this is like something I loved Ivy's video. I even told her I loved the video. I commented on it. Ivy's basically saying next week in the Awakening shop we're getting an Arrogant Soulstone, but it's like by far the best Soulstone we've ever had. I think the previous best was like Salazar. So instead of being over here with Absent, which is laughable, we're getting a much better version of Absent. We're getting Arrogant. So Ivy's saying, hey, you might pull 2 heroes you don't want, but then you can sell them off for dust. So for me, that's not going to motivate me because I've never crunched a hero. So I only have 35 dust. This is just like the occasional dust, Awakening tokens, I believe they're called. Is that what they're called? Yeah, Legendary Awakening tokens. That's just occasionally they drop from Nightmare 4 Guild Boss. But if you're close, you very well might get that one. I do not have any interest in someone saying if you have Elder, do you need Valeriya? Oh, because it's Anthony, because Anthony loves. Let's wait for the Q&A in a second. But kinda. I don't know. It's up to you. If you want more Nightmare damage and you want, Valeriya is better than Elder, of course, in single target arena. So it's up to you. Let's get to that in a second. But yeah, so if you're someone that crunches your dupes, then you can do that. And if you're like a dupe short or 2 dupes short, you can definitely go for this. It'd be a really nice opportunity. That being said, I've never done one and I never will do one, and I'll stick to that. As much as I would love to get my A4 Arrogance, I never will do one until I have heroes at A5, and then I pull in dupe after A5. So I have 2 heroes at A4. I have Crash and Calypso, but no one at A5. So even if I pulled double Crash, that would only be 100 more coins because I'm going to use the first one to make him A5. So for me, that doesn't motivate, but if you're a big spender, it might. So that's a good shout from whomever said that. Let me try to give a shout out to OJSN. So yeah, especially if you're a big spender or you don't want to hoard your heroes as much as I do, do it. But let's say you crunch those Calypsos, your Styx boss would be pretty upset right about now. I got number 61 in the world with my A1 Calypso, right? So not that she was really on the chopping block, but like you could see something getting added where you need block and you need your Kineza, or you could see something getting added where, especially if they did a rework. Someone did this in a comment. If they made this manual, it should be way more usable, right? So they had a way to make this manual. Maybe they reduced the cost by like 50 more, or they just added one more thing to her kit. I could totally see them reworking a Nai eventually, right? I'm not interested in crunching heroes. That's where I'll end it. I think almost everybody should skip this weekend. I truly do think we're getting Artemis in the following 3 weeks. So the weekend after this one of the next 3 weekends after that, probably potentially sooner. He's my most wanted hero. I have a guide on him you guys can check out. We'll end it there, and let's see Q&A, guys. Q&A. All right, there's your Q&A. Let me know if you have any questions. They'll ever let heroes go to 6-star? 7-star? I don't think so. No. The 1+1 isn't ever a skip. Other banner, yes. The 1+1 is absolutely a skip if you don't have enough summons and can't guarantee yourself a pity. That's actually, thank you for bringing that up, Ronald. Something I should have touched on. I would not go for these unless you can guarantee. I guess you'd be building pity towards something else. I guess we'd totally take that back. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. If you're endgame, I think the 1+1's are pretty hard to skip. Because like if you get a banner like Silas Virna, I'll show you the math on that. So here's the math, guys. So hopefully people stick around for this. If you get a banner, so the chances of getting each pull on the Silas Virna banner, or Lust and Arrogance, we can say about that. So Lust and Arrogance was 37% chance. It was 18.5% chance each pull it was them. So 37% chance it was one or the other. For Silas Virna, it was like 18.03. So it was like 36% chance. So let's just say 36.5% chance. So you have a 36.5% chance each pull to get them, right? That means, and oh my God, let me do some math. You have a, what is that, 33.5? No, sorry, excuse me. You have a 63.5% chance on each one for it not to be them. So this is the chance, if you had a great banner like that and you were able to pull 2 legendaries, granted you need to be able to pull a lot. If you're able to pull 2 legendaries, well, actually, first off, let's say you just pull the 1. You have actually already a better chance. Because if you pull 2 legendaries and you're just looking for any old rare hero, for the rare bucket hero, you're looking at a 36% chance, right? And that's including Lords. I should have said that before too. That's not just those heroes. That's including Lords and including Hotset and including Boreas. So that would be 0.8 times 0.8, 64. Subtract that per 100, you have a 36% chance. Here you're looking at a 36.5% chance on average. However, if you were going to pull more, right? And also, those heroes, if there's a banner like Lust and Arrogance, I know I keep saying, but also, if it's a banner like Lust and Arrogance or Silas and Virna, where you'd be happy with all of them, that's really cool. Because on the rare banner, sometimes there's heroes you might not want, right? Let me actually have a think here of some, like, I don't want Virna, right? So she could be the rare hero I hit on. That's not someone I'm looking for. Or Comet. I already have 8th degree Comet, you know? I want, like, Silas or something. So you wait for those right banners. So the chances actually are way higher if you're limiting the actual pool of heroes you're most interested in. But let's say you're able to pull 2 legendaries. It'd be like this. You can see you have basically a 60% chance if you pull 2 legendaries on those banners. That'd be one or the other. So pretty strong. I actually think if you're late game and end game, you certainly do reach a point where they can be skipped. If you're not like a big spender and you can just go on every banner, I think you do reach a point. Let's see. Any ideas on the next guaranteed hero? I think it's Reeve. I spoke to my contact in January being like, when are they getting Reeve? I really want to get Reeve. And they were like, yeah, me too. I played the game too, and I really want Reeve, but I know, she was like, I know he's not coming that soon, but he is coming eventually. So based on that response and based on the timing, that would have been 3 months later. It seems like they alternate months, so I'm assuming he's April. This is just my prediction, but that's what I think. And yeah, I think saving forever. It seems like on like clockwork so far. They've been every 2 months. It was introduced in August, and it went August, October, December, February, right? Like clockwork. Do rolls on Idvig count as long as the hero is getting debuffed? Yeah, of course it counts. Later on, you want to still build those heroes wearing Invig in good gear. You want a great Dolores build, and you want her wearing Invig. Of course, rolls count. Early on, you can just throw anything, of course. Thank you very much, Barry McDonald. I appreciate it. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up with everything. Is Artemis must summon if you've pretty much completed all content? If you've pretty much completed all content, I don't think anybody is must summon. I think you kind of answered the question yourself there. If you've completed all content, then must summon is whatever you want, and I want Artemis. So he's my must summon for me. If you're progressing, I think he's tracked out. I think he's insanely strong. And yeah, I mean, if they add like a gear aid 122, yeah, I think he'd be incredible. Also, they add more Voider stages. I think more phases. I think they'll be really good there. Healer Codex, he should be able to do some nice damage. We'll have to see. I definitely want him. I think he's must summon for most people. I'll have to test him in other places first, but there you go. When Artemis will be on 10x? Yeah, I just said I think in the next 3 weeks. I don't know. Yeah, I think he'll be in the next patch file. Which it's up to Perrin to discover other people that are more capable than me. I will say the devs were not happy with me, and I do apologize to them, I guess, if they're watching for that stuff. I don't think of it as us having breached anything. It's possible because I just don't know about technology. I'm very much under the impression we just unpacked the file that is hand-delivered to us. So I'm not going to go any further into that. But I will continue to just report on the news. You know, I've never done anything myself, but if it's out there and it's going to help people and people want to share with me and want me to share with people on their behalf, or other people will share it, then why wouldn't I share it? I think you guys know I think transparency is of the utmost importance in this. And based on my long talk with Ivy before and after filming today and while we filmed, I do think I'm a little delulu. I think maybe it's just the space that I'm operating in now. It's not a really transparent thing. But yeah, I don't know. Let me dream, baby. What's next? I lost it. 1+1 don't cost much, at least for spenders. Yeah, that's true. If you're a spender, 1+1, that's a great point, Robert. So yeah, you can totally, especially if you buy the right packs, seems like you can get at worst like 80 cents USD rare summons, right? So between the rebate and everything, I mean, you're gonna need, and everything you save up naturally, you have to buy like 150 of them. So I think if you are a spender, you can probably get it for like $100. I think that probably comes out correct. So yeah, if you're a spender, and especially if you have the monthly summon card, maybe even less than $100, we already buy that thing. Need a 250 guaranteed Calypso banner. That's not going to happen. I think they will only do guarantees, at least for this foreseeable future, on exclusive heroes, not on normal heroes. Be interesting. You know, I think it'd be cool, and I could see this happening. Imagine you get like a wish list thing, right? So you could wish list, and then that becomes your 250 guarantee. So people that like really want Silas, or really want Boreas, or Comet, or Elwyn, you know, you could wish list those heroes, right? It'd be pretty cool. Just reading the questions here. Sorry, guys. You have 10 legendaries, Ronald says, and 100 into pity. You have over 100 pulls to use with rates. If you have 100 pulls to use, then you are guaranteed to get it. Because hard pity is at 220. Almost everybody hits it by like 212. It becomes like a very, very statistically improbable. I can actually show you that. I have that MDL man, and I did that. Why can't I find him? Oh, I hate this. I hate Discord, man. Discord drives me so insane. Is it gone? Here it is. Okay, here it is, guys. I think this is the correct one, right? Yeah, okay. This is how the pity works, guys. So this is your chance each pull, and then this is like your compounding chance, right? So, and shout out to, this is something I always talk about, but MDL actually made the nice little graphic, right? So on the first pull, when you hit 200, the pity hasn't kicked in. 200 soft pity, because after 200 is when pity is in effect. So that first pull, you still have, this is assuming a 10x banner, still have a 0.5% chance. Every subsequent pull, you'll see it increases by 5%. So it goes 5.5, 10.5, 15.5, so on, all the way up to 219 is 95.5, and then 220 is 100, because 100.5 doesn't matter. You have your cap, that's hard cap, right? But you can see here, this is the chance with each subsequent one as it like compounds. So here at 201, you had a 5.5% chance. That's how that was your chance. But by 202, you've pulled one with a 5.5% chance, one with a 10.5% chance. So basically, you can say you have to find the probability on each one that you didn't pull. So that'd be 94.5% times 90.5%, and then that comes out to whatever this is, 86.6%, right? So you have, is that right? No, 84.6%. So you have a 15.4% chance. And this only gets higher and higher as you have more and more opportunities. So if you look, by around 209, 210, you are already almost like a guarantee. So this is your chance that it happened by then. You have only a 3% chance after 10 summons into the pity. You have only a 3% chance that you will not have hit a legendary by then. If you go as far as 212, you have only a 1 in 200 chance that you will have not hit the legendary. And then here, if you go to 214, you have a 1 in 1,000 chance, and then it just gets astronomical. So people tell me, I went all the way to pity. No, you didn't. Maybe it happens once a month. Someone, probably less, maybe once, a couple times a year. I don't know. We'd actually have to calculate that you have to go all the way to 200. But you can see here, you had a 90, divided by 219. It might feel like you went to pity. You might have gone. You could totally go to like, I've done it before. I went to like 214 before, I think. 213, 214. It feels like you're going all the way to 220. To make it all the way to 220, really something. Really something. You would have, it's a 99.9999998% chance. So it's beyond 1 in a million. So congrats to you if that was you, I guess. All right, let me catch up with more questions. So yeah, Ronald, you're guaranteed to hit it, because even if you're at like 90 with the rebate and everything, you'll make it. That's my long-winded way of answering. So you can manipulate at 220, switch banner, and pull in the other banner as well. But why? There's no guarantee. Why would you manipulate at 220? Oh, you're saying for the Calypso thing he talked about. Totally different thing. You want Valeriya so bad, you don't want Brokkir at all. Should you summon close to pity? I don't have the rates on this one. It's from the old one. I could dig it up, but yeah. I would assume the rate on Brokkir is going to come out at about 20%, and the rate on Valeriya is going to be in like the 16, 17% range. So just think of it as you're going to have a plus or minus a bit. You'll have a 1 in 6% chance every legendary you pull that will be Valeriya. So you'll need to pull about 4 to have over a 50-50 chance to get her. So do with that what you will. Void Rift bingo, that's what I wanted to hear, okay. I'm not seeing questions. Will it be a special banner for Easter? Anyone know? I'm sure they'll do something, but of course we don't know. That's 2 months away. Thank you, MDL. Will there be a Lust Arrogance type event? They'll definitely do like an event like they do. They had a Halloween event, and they had, I'm sure they'll do like an Easter Bunny event. Yeah. I can't say it. I'm sure they will. They did a Lunar New Year event. They did a Christmas event. They did a Valentine's Day event. They did a Halloween event. They did a Thanksgiving event. They'll do it. How could they not do an Easter event with bunnies and stuff? Ronald, you're saying you're scared about Boreas because if they nerf him as hard as they did in test server, who is safe in the future, and you'll be afraid. That's fair. Last I checked, I haven't seen. I mean, I haven't looked for hours, so maybe there's better testing. You've seen testing that he was nerfed so hard on test server? Have you seen it manifest on Forerunner? I mean, or is this you're speculating? Tempted. Oh yeah, so this is a good point. Valeriya and Brokkir are on divines, so you totally can go for Valeriya and divines if she's someone you want to target. That's a separate. I should have touched on that. I would still save personally, just for what I'm looking for. But yeah, I'm tempted to do it because I want A1 Valeriya, but I won't be doing that. Wizardu said, "Thank you. Thanks to Ivy, you feel supported, but you're sad." I appreciate that. A lot of people, it's pretty amazing. I've been accused multiple times today of being like an industry shill, and I work for Moonton, and I'm sugarcoating everything for you guys. And I've been accused of being a horrible person who's trashing on these amazing devs, and I should keep my mouth shut. I've literally heard the polar opposite thing. So people basically are just using me. I think at this point it's something to project onto, and if that's going to cause them to comment on the video. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It's upsetting. People are really calling me names today. It's tough. Let's see, more questions. $19 time for a legendary and divine summons. I feel you, but that's not that crazy, because that's not how pity builds in legendary summons, right? So the pity for legendary summons, I believe, is +2 after your 12th. I believe that's correct. Yes. So by 19 summons, each one, granted you will have some compounding probability, but by your 19th summon, you will have, what is that? You'll have on a non 2x, you'll have a 23% chance. So it's nice, but or 20% chance, excuse me, 14% plus 6%. It's nice, but it's not like, I mean, it's 1 in 5, right? Put a piece of gear on her so she looks a little better. Such a scuffed build, as my boy Cam might say. Boredom says, are they going to nerf Kratos? He's more OP than Boreas. Well, first off, we can talk about if they should nerf Kratos, but I don't think they. I kind of think they should, but it's not comparable. Kratos is the rarest hero in the game from the rarest faction in the game, and he's a lord, the rarest designation for a hero in the game. Kratos is a normal hero. So they just shouldn't even be compared. The fact that you're even comparing them speaks to the power of Boreas more than the power of Kratos. That being said, Kratos is freaking broken as hell, don't get me wrong. But it's all about accessibility and availability, right? Boreas was made available. Just think about it, guys. This is the big Boreas problem. And you're like, well, then why don't you nerf this person, this person, this person? Because not everybody has those people. Those heroes, but tons and tons and tons and tons of people have Boreas. So why is that? Boreas was on something they've only done twice ever. It's a 2x by 10x. There's a 10x rate up on specific heroes. Both times it was 3 specific heroes. Both times Setchum was involved. Both times I didn't get him, but story for another day. And there's 2x rates. So you have twice the normal chance on the first instance of RNG that the hero you hit is a legendary. So instead of 0.5%, it's 1%. And then once it hits, you have an increased 10% chance, a 10 times chance that it's any of those rate up banner heroes. So that's when Boreas happened, and it happened on like the most, up to that point, the most hyped banner ever in Watcher of Realms, right? It was a 2x plus 10x right when everyone got their Christmas bonuses the week before Christmas. It was like December 16th to 19th or something. So, no coincidence, people went crazy. That up until Lust, that was the most I'd ever pulled on a banner. I pulled 800 times. So even though I wanted Boreas, I didn't care too much because I wasn't too dead set on him because I was super focused on Setchum. Many people were like that. It wasn't fully known. Everyone knew he was great, and it wasn't fully known he was like a top 5 hero. And I've spoken to that many times. So that, you might say, well, I knew. Well, maybe you did, but I didn't know. So if I didn't know, a handful of people at least didn't know, right? Unless I was the only one, but I'm not. I just knew he was good. So I even pulled Brace 3 times during that. So think about that. Think about how many people set their all-time most summons they've ever done before on that banner. So the amount of Boreases that populated the game all of a sudden was far more than the number of, if you want to say Valeriya, or if you want to say Hotsit, right? Hotsit did have a 2x by 10x, but that's when the half player base was about half as small. People had less time to save, less time to know what they were saving for, less big spenders in the game. I'm not saying Hotsit doesn't need to be addressed. I'm not saying she does, but I'm just speaking to it. There are more Boreases just populating every corner of the game. And it is true. I don't know what the percentage is, but I bet you there's a high percentage, or a non-negligible percentage of players, even if it's less than half, it's a nice chunk of players that all have at least a 0 Boreas, right? So don't compare it to Praetus, where almost no one has him. He hasn't had a rate up. Who knows if he'll ever get a rate up? And he is the rarest tier in the game. So he's an ancient only exclusive from the rarest faction in the game. So I'm not saying they shouldn't do something, or they should, but if the fact that you're even making the comparison speaks to the need potentially for a Boreas nerf. And I hope you see that. Ivy went 18 straight without a legendary. It's not that crazy at all. I mean, do you want me to do the math? MDL, should we make that math? It's a much different pity. It's 2% per pull, not 5%. It's unlucky, but it's probably about 50-50 after 18, I bet, on a non-2x. Even on a 2x, I mean, it's super possible. You're making it now. Thank you, buddy. I keep losing my spot. Hi, new player here. I've consumed so much of your content. Thanks a lot. I have a question for you. Someone at my point, 14 days in, can guarantee a legendary? Yes, you should. Absolutely. If you could guarantee 2, I'd pull on both banners. But if you can just do 1, it's very, very hard to say which to go for. If I was you, I would say you have to go for the 1+1. But who knows? Maybe go for the 1+1. You hit it early. Keep in mind, guys, once you hit the 1+1, it's over. And then go, and maybe you'll pick up a Brokkir or Valeriya or something else, because the epics are really good too. But yeah, absolutely. If you're 14 days in, that's what I said. I said like 3 to 4 weeks in. Absolutely, you should go for it. Absolutely. That was for Nicholas Kiriakou. Something completely unrelated. What's my view on Zealous? He's bad. Fasty, what do you think is a good system? The fact that we have more chances to pull bad legendaries than good ones, being same rarity. I think it's a good system. Guys, okay, I gotta do another pause the music thing. I have never, and I will never, be against uneven rates. I think maybe some people think I am. I'm very pro uneven rates. Hotsit should feel special when you get her. It was I always thought it was weird that Silas was so common, right? I'm anti shady bullshit. That's what I'm anti. I like uneven rates. It should be harder to get Setchum than it is to get Nyx, right? It should be. I think that's fair, but we should know. That's how I always have been, and that will never waver. And I quite frankly, I think, and I've told them this both in videos endlessly and to their face endlessly, and they've confirmation that they've watched my stuff. They have confirmation that they've received my written studies I've sent them. I am so confident that it would at the worst, nothing would happen, and I actually think it would improve monetization. I think it'd be a lot cooler to pull and say, wow, I got Elowen and she was only 0.8% on that banner. Dude, I'm so lucky. My account's so badass. That's hype. People were excited when I made public that hot sit is like ultra rare, and people were like, well, dang, I got her A1 or I got her A3 or oh, I'm so lucky that I have her as a free to play. I think it adds to it. I in no way do I think every hero needs the same rate. They just need to tell us, because it's illegal. Like, I've done enough research on it now. In China itself, it's illegal, and in much of the EU, it's just illegal. So, I mean, what are we even doing here? Still going through the comment questions. Oh yeah, remember to like the stream, y'all. Wow, 184 concurrent viewers. So people definitely like this. Let me know if you guys in the comments, especially if you're watching in the future, if you like this format. It seems like people are enjoying it. Where is this? What happened to Morning Stidius? I did Morning Stidius and Night Stidius yesterday, so Stidius was too tired to do morning again. And I also woke up at 8 a.m. to film with Ivy, so. I'm really struggling to keep, because it keeps auto-scrolling down. I'm really struggling to do this. So that's Nicholas, Zealous, Trash Boy. Fasty, do you think Boreas affects Hotsit's value mainly in Arena? Are big spenders mad at those who pull Boreas and competing? IMO with nerf, Hotsit remains on top. I actually think Hotsit arguably was still on top already, because she can be used in all 3 gear raids. You could use Boreas in single target, but you don't. Well, I mean, in Ardia. And Silas. I'd say that's like the group. I mean, Hotsit value has always been through the roof. I will say I'm more interested in pulling Hotsit now. If that answers your question at all, I don't care too much about Arena, but I really felt like I didn't need her anymore, because I'd literally win whenever I want in Arena. I don't have to think about it. Except for that one glitchy thing, for anyone who saw that stream, that was insane. I'm not talking about that right now. Basically, this guy had the same build on his Silas, slightly different, but the exact same quality Silas as mine, but his Silas was like twice as good, and it made no sense, and my brain broke. But yeah, now I'd say I like that my arena's on complete easy mode, and it will still be exceptionally easy for me. I mean, my account's quite good now, but now I'm much more interested. I'll get much more excited when I pull Hotsit. So I guess that's a plus for me. Also, keep in mind, guys, nothing is confirmed that anything at all is coming to global. Although it's been confirmed, they're planning on it coming to global, but they're still adjusting it and responding to feedback. Also, it says there's chat revenue, guys. If you super chatted and I missed it, I apologize. So you can just let me know in the chat. I appreciate that. Let's say Itzy Burr said, hi, new player. I have 28 summons. Do you think I will get Valeriya? It's hard to say. I mean, if you're from Florida, I would assume not even worth it, because nothing good will ever happen to you. Itzy, just a hunch. Seems like that's where you're from. But otherwise, go for it, baby. She's good. Vlad having a bunny suit skin confirmed. Oh my god, I'm dripping, dude. Are you serious? Oh my god. That'd be so sick. Zealous is a waste of resources, says Joseph. I agree. You have A4 Valeriya. Do I think A5 is worth it? I do. You can define Raymond light spender, but her A5 is one of the couple. You can watch my video I did with Ray. It's one of the very, 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 very best A5s in the game. Steven, I just got Hollow. Can you show how to use her? I can make a Hollow guide eventually, but I have so much content on Hollow just through guides I do featuring her. So if you want to find any of my recent Guild Boss guides and like all of my Gear Raid 1 content, I use her. Any late game Gear Raid 1 content. But just build her exceptionally high attack speed. You want her at least at a 1.5 second interval, at least for later game stuff. Up until then, that's what you can aspire to. And you need her A1. So make sure you put a Soulstone into her if you don't have her A1. Yeah, that's the other thing, guys. Boreas will still remain the best. Actually, they buffed his anti-healing. Boreas will still remain the single best anti-heal in the game. Let's see. Did you sign NDAs for publicly accessible info? I did not. I signed something that said I wouldn't, like for my content creator program, It said I wouldn't speak ill of the game, which quite frankly I don't think I do. I think, and I've even discussed when before I'd signed anything about what they thought about that, speaking ill of. And I said, yeah, you can always share your opinion. So I think that's just what I do. And then there's something about unreleased stuff, but this is released directly to us, and there was no hacking done. It was just shared, released info. And also, I didn't do it. It was given to me. What's up, James? Let's see. Fordham says this is the beginning of the end. Totally disagree. Nothing's even happened yet. Actually, the one big thing is in my video where I like ranted, I'm like, they should use Forerunner as a Forerunner account to test things. And it sounds like, based on the response that Ivy got today that we covered in our video, you guys can go check that out. It really sounds like that is what they're going to do now. I'm not saying I gave them an idea. Maybe that was always their plan. I wish they, again, took more accountability. But that is how they said to Ivy. They're like, hey, nothing's confirmed at all for global. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt here. Zarikto, good evening. Hey, man. Good evening to you. I guess good late. I mean, you're in Russia, right? I don't even know. Very late evening, early morning. Very early morning. Do you think there'll be an event for Women's Day? No. Do you think this? Look at this. Does it look like they're going to do anything for? Let me show you. Does it look like they're going to do something for Women's Day? Maybe a pink bra skin or something. See, she jiggles through the armor. You think they're going to do something for Women's Day in this game? I don't think so. I just have a hunch. Do you think they'll do Praetus next? He's the best champ in the game. You need a best champ in the game, man. Do I think they could do a little thing to Praetus? I do think they could, but he should remain the best champ in the game. When you need a best hero in the game. Every game needs a best hero. Not every hero needs to be the same. You have A1 Valeriya, Doctor Who. Do you need Brokkir? You don't need him. There's no content that you need him for, but he is, like, I think the second best tank in the game. But if you got A1 Valeriya and you want to stop there, it's fine. Peep2 says people are just emotional reactors. They hear something they like, they go full doomsday. I think it's true. Also, I think it's, I mean, it's helping my engagement, right? But it's very much, it's upsetting, but it's very much like a don't shoot the messenger. Like, I'm just sharing what I know, and then I share my opinions, right? Doctor Who says to like the stream. I agree, guys. Come on, baby. 56 likes. We can do better. Or, what's this? Or Orion Shadow Wolf, author. You had only 30 summons and you got Valeriya. That's amazing. Congratulations. Psycho Dragon says, you're more of a news reporter of the community. I don't see you as a chill or evil person, just commenting on what's out there. I think that's fair, man. I think what I do, I'm like a talking head for, I mean, I also do guide content. That's separate. But like for this kind of stuff, I'm like the way you see someone on CNN or Fox, but not like someone reporting the news, someone commenting on the reporting, but also commenting on the news, right? There's like a spin. I'm sharing my thought. Belt Reality, my problem is that people spent money to get Boreas. Yeah, dude, that's my problem too, as I've spoke endlessly about. I think it's really, really bad, and people will quit over this, but if it happens, right? The music stopped? I might have paused it. I don't know when you sent that message, but I stop it here and there. Hey, Fast, should I summon? I have Comet, Lust, Valkyra, Silas, and Regulus. 100 pulls, 18 days in. Yuri, you should summon on the 1+1, I would say, not the 10x banner, because you already have a great tank in Regulus, and you have a very nice fighter in Valkyra. If you're 18 days in, you also have Wrath. I think for you right now, you should go for the 1+1. Robert says stopped idiots. I don't know what that means. My apologies. We're 1 like away from 69, guys. Cetrum's going to be in the Awakening shop. Holy crap, when? Then I'm definitely pulling on the 1+1 because that's going to give me an opportunity to pull more A5 heroes and then eventually dupes. That's crazy. Oh, someone joined as a member. Thanks, guys. Any info on some packs like the hero packs? So like the legendary Piercer, Infernal, Cultist. No info on it. Usually they're 50 USD, I think. Of course they'll do it again. I'm sure it made them tons of money. Dice says the nerf still isn't guaranteed. Absolutely. Something will happen. I think that's basically guaranteed, but how it's going to happen is not guaranteed, guys. Is Lust going to come back, or is she another Reeves? Both. Reeves is coming back eventually, and Lust will come back eventually, but it might be Valentine's Day 2025. It keeps scrolling up. I can't keep up. Sorry, guys. Zach says you're 16 divines in with no legendary now, so you guess you're set. Yeah, you should be just about set. Oh yeah, so guys, the chance to not pull a legendary with full pity on a 10x banner by 220, the chance to make it to 220 is 2 in a million. So it's 1 in 500,000 chance. So maybe it's happened to like one of your friends ever, but all these people that say it happens to them all the time, it's just patently false. All right, so MDL man did the next bit of math, so let's pull that up. So this is what it's like with the divines, for anyone wondering about divines. So thank you, MDL. So you can see you have this is on a normal 10x, like what we have now, on a rate up. So it kicks in at 12. So the rate, it kicks in after 12, you know? It's up to 12 and then following. So at 12, you have your 6% chance. And you can see it goes 8, 10, blah, 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 all the way to 50% chance at 34. However, you can see the compounding. So it's 6, 8, and 17.2, 27.1. If you want a 50-50 chance, that's right between 17 and 18. So by 18, you've had a 56% chance. Someone said Ivy went that many, so Ivy was only unlucky by 43.2%. That was her chance of this happening. So it's nearly a coin flip scenario that happened to Ivy. Zach said he just went 16. You only had a 37.3% chance. And yeah, you can see you can pull all the way up. It's not until your 24th one since your last one that you have over a 90% chance. And then by the time you make it, let's say here, to 31, you're at a 3 in 1,000 chance. So you're gonna very likely get it, but still 3 in 1,000. Still not get it. 3 in 1,000. Every 333 people that'll happen to, basically, right? Thank you, MDL. Keep scrolling up. Speaking of Valeriya, we might as well get some AMR going while I read all these questions. Yuri says, should I summon? I have Comet, Lust, Valkyrie. Oh, I already answered that one. Jeez, it keeps scrolling up. I keep finding things I already have seen. No, now it's scrolled all the way down. Nice, man. Mods, we should talk about this after. We need to find a better way if I'm going to do this again. It keeps scrolling. When to use Zealous? Never. No, you can use them up through 119, I'd say. Wow, Ronan, thank you so much. Or Event Horizon for the Ron. I think that's Romanian currency. Thank you so much. 20%. That was the super chat. We found it. It's not must, but it's honest work. Yeah, we'll take it, baby. W's. Great premise regime. Thanks, new name. Why can I not catch up? Yeah, Ronan's saying the problem is it's going to be harder to get him with the nerf drop rate. We don't know on the next new banner. This isn't a new banner now. We don't know if it will be a nerf drop rate still. We don't know how the change is going to happen. There's a lot of unknowns. All I report on is what the information I have, right? Yeah, he will definitely still be strong. Valeriya is such a babe. Accurate. You got A1 Boreas, but you never use it? Yeah, he's amazing, dude. He's like the best normal tank in the game. You like the chit-chatting format? Awesome. Cool. Birdum says, Zach says he wants Hudson so bad you have the skin, but you don't have her. You'll get her one day. Boredom, thanks for perspective. It's not me that people are upset with. You're a stud. Appreciate you. Best content of anyone out there. Barnard, thanks so much. I really appreciate that. A1 Brokkir can freeze Lasier and Void Rift. Is that actually true? I do use Brokkir to tank and Void Rift for like every single stage. That's how good I think he is. Thank you, MDL. When is the fusion coming? I believe on March 22nd. I believe that's what it's in the in-game notice. You can go check it out. I believe it said March 22nd. Show my Lust build. My Lust isn't built currently. She was fully built for sticks, and then I took all the gear off of her to focus on other stuff. I'm not using it right now. I'll do a guild boss push thing soon. I'll try a really demo thing. 17 Legos on day 90 account. You're 32 into pity. Only have 70 pulls. Do you pull the 1+1 and risk it? I don't know which Legos you have, Zunding, so I can't advise you. If you already have a decent Nightmare Fighter and you have decent tanks, then yeah, if you have good Nightmare units, good fighters, and a decent tank or two, I would do the 1+1. Is 1+1 a new banner? They do it every month. This is like the 8th 1+1 we've had, I think. 7th or 8th 1+1. I pulled on this banner today and received Brokkir on the first 10 pop. You're very close to pity. Still nicely. I mean, he's so good, dude. You should be happy. We can say that your account is still in mid-stage. Oh, it's for Zunding. Okay, yeah, got it. You got your AMR down to 7-second clears? Yeah, dude. Pretty cracked out. Valeriya Silas is a sick combination. See, Valeriya's getting a Soulstone, not 100. Oh, for the person doing A5. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Person who was talking about A5 Valeriya, that's great advice from MJ. If she's actually getting a Soulstone, if you have her A4, I'm assuming you spend a bit and you have some dust, some Legendary Awakening coins. I would hold out for that, unless you don't have some of those, but... Demi's a strong anti-heal. It's not on the level of Boreas, I wouldn't say. Because Boreas can do it not when he's ulting. It's like whenever freezes are happening. You pair Boreas with Mari and you're just getting it all the time, right? Or with I is the best. It just scrolled up again. Oh my god, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. Yeah, we need to find a better solution. See another comment about Women's Day. I don't know if that's a new or old comment, but 4 legendary coins is 4 legendaries, right? Isn't it 100 per legendary? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. No hand feeds me. I feed myself, baby. Why not though, Thugzilla? Like you can just build. You're just building pity for the next banner anyway. Very early Eastern Europe, West Asia. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, the passive range for Bryce needed to be nerfed. I won't waver on that. He needed to go to that 3.5. I think that's way better. It's too big. I remember War Guide sent me a picture filling in all the squares that he touches with the 4.5 things, and it's shocking. Like when you actually see it, he like went into MS Paint, and it's shocking. Valkyria skin confirmed, OnlyFans style. Yeah, sure. How do I go 0-14 in Divines? Pretty darn easily. We just pulled up the math. Very easily. At 14, you have a 17.2% chance that you pull the legendary. That's for when you're in pity. So if you use the pulls before then, maybe it's a 50-50 or something. We can calculate that up if you want. You have A4 Valeriya. I bet you have some coins saved up. Yeah, that's what I think too. Eventually have a collab. I just put out a video with JGigs. Can we get is there a mod there, Vice or somebody to link that from JGigs' channel? It's a very, very funny video, if I do say so myself. And we each suggest 3 collabs that they should do. Have I maxed faction trials? No, I'm waiting on Shamir. I literally can't because I don't have 3 Northerner mages. Who do I think the best tank is? Definitely Gon. And Gon or Reeve. Okay, so Brokkir's the third best tank, but Reeve is who has Reeve nowadays. Gon and Reeve are better than Brokkir. But I will say, Brokkir is a better tank for a lot of stuff than Reeve. But Reeve is a great tank, and he's just a better hero. When you got Elwyn, you went crazy? Yeah, dude, she's so good. They need to make a promotional hero in-game that looks just like me. I don't know if they're big fans of mine right now, quite frankly. 3:50 a.m. in St. Petersburg. Okay, sweet. I could have guessed that. Friday night feels like long evening. Okay. Yeah, because St. Petersburg is 7 hours ahead of me, right? That's what I would have guessed. Oh, no, so that's 8 hours. Oh, okay, so St. Petersburg is farther than I thought. I've been there. I've been to St. Petersburg. Keep scrolling up. Oh, my God. You can rewind the video if you want the advice. But all in all, if you have the summons to do it, you totally can. If you're like late endgame, I probably would skip it. Unless you're a spender. Avicistius? I don't know what that means. Element's your second Lego. That is cracked for progression. Oh my god. Valeriya is on common legendary bracket. No, she's not. Joseph, she's on rare legendary bracket. Elwyn's rage needs a buff. Nothing about Elwyn needs a buff. Elwyn is as good as it is. Oh, Stop Cities got it. What's up, Serby? 1+1, it's its own banner. No units, it's all the normal units. You can go and check when it's live tomorrow, but it'll be all the normal units in the game. So no ancient exclusives, it'll be all other units. Ask for an Annie buff. I don't know what an Annie buff is. 2x soon. How does the schedule really work? There's 2x basically every weekend. This is the first weekend off. We've had like 2 weekends off in like the past 4 months. There's 2x almost every single weekend. You're gonna stop spending? Fair enough. What would I name my hero if there was one with my likeness? Fastidious. You got a Soulstone yesterday. You have a question in. Put it on. A2 Silas, A0 Ardia, A0 Lust, A0 Twin Fiend, A0 Gone. I would say Twin Fiend or Ardia. Personally, I have 2 Soulstones and I've never used them on my Ardia. Ardia is good enough at A0. I would save it for Twin Fiend, or use on Twin Fiend. I am saving it for Twin Fiend. Just scrolled again, man. Oh, Destin's here. What up? Destin shows up just to plug himself. You gotta respect the grind. Where to use defense unit like Brokkir? Brokkir like everywhere that you need a tank. He's like amazing in GVG. He's amazing in Gear 8-2. He's amazing in Void Rift. He's, I wouldn't say amazing, but very good in tank codex. Unless you have like literally every meta hero, you'll use him probably. But keep scrolling down and I'm losing my mind. Thank you, Force, for joining. Where am I? Yeah, Vice, let's talk. I need to find a way to do this better. That's a good chart. Thank you, Zach. Also, guys, if you want to pull a party tomorrow, just let me know. And you can sign up. Maybe Vice, you can share the link. Or Mod can share the link. I can also put it on the screen when I'm done with this. Idril's Gaze. Should I put on Idril or Silas? I'd put on Idril. Idril needs those opportunities to ignore the defense to really do crazy damage. That's kind of what elevates her. And when it lines up, it's just, she just deletes those mobs. Could you Broadwick says, I just started about less than a month ago. My total summons are 2433. That's a crap load. Somebody been ka-chinging. Respect. I have A1 Silas, Fierna, A3 Lust, Demi, A3 Lust, you monster, you criminal. Demi, Calypso, Kai, Elwyn, A1 Brokkir, Valkyria. Should you pull? No. Well, you should. Because clearly you spend, and you have A3 Lust, and A3 Lust is going to love your Valeriya and vice versa. So yes, you should pull. You guys should, if you guys want specific advice, I mean, just like I do in videos, tell me what kind of spender you are. It helps. Be really cool as a 250 guaranteed banner with all the previous guaranteed heroes. That would be really cool. That's a really good idea, Chad. Go to Discord for the questions. We could do that. Maybe next time. Your question, what's the difference between shard summoning and a fusion? Shard summoning is like you're gathering these shards of heroes until you have enough to fuse them. A fusion is you're gathering rares, then you fuse those rares, 4 rares into an epic, then you have 4 epics and you fuse those into a legendary. So it's the difference between like when we just had Vladov versus like when we did Abomination, right? Ron is Romanian currency. Okay, cool. OJSN says you recently cleared 319 on your 20th day. Very nice. You have Berea, Silas, Aracha, Cerberus, Lust, Lasir, Morrigan, Pelagius, Zealous. Could you summon 1+1? Yeah, for sure. There's holes in that roster. It's an amazing roster where you have holes, so you got to summon on the 1+1. Brokkir's the best GVG Jink. Yeah, I agree with Destin. He's so good. So if you have Brokkir with King Hearts, which I do now, it's pretty good. You're stuck on 18. I have many free-to-play AMR 18 guides, and they're 100% free-to-play. It's before I ever got a single diamond, right? So you can check that out. You know how you clock your AMR with that setup? I think it's like 23 or 20. This isn't my speed setup. This is my, because I'm farming up some heroes as well. I think I could probably get it down to like 21, which is like 7 seconds on 3x. I don't do 3.5 seconds. I think it's 24 seconds is this run. I think. I don't know. I could do it and we could see. I think it's 24 seconds. I don't really care. It's so fast it doesn't matter to me. Alpha Zeta, it looks like. It says last Lust event and got Regulus Kineza. 18 pulse for pity and would go 1+1. Yeah, you should go 1+1. Yeah, Cyrus with Cornelian is definitely a competitor. I don't know what my MR time is. You guys can time it. You're watching it. Just take out a stopwatch. Let me know if you want. I don't think the fusion will be that hard, Zunding, and even if it is, Maku and I and Dolores will make like a very, very extensive fusion plan so everyone can succeed. So don't worry about it. Whereas defense unit like Brokkir, yeah, like I said, like GVG, amazing. Nightmare Void Rift, Curate 2, Tank Codex, he's just amazing. How many summons are required for fusions? Hard to say. Almost certainly be able to do it with no summons. We've been able to do everything in the game so far with no summons or basically no summons. It's not like Raid, guys. More like make sure you have some diamonds, some stamina saved. It shouldn't even be that much because during fusions, there's always like concurrently things that give us free resources. We have not reached Raid levels where you need to like plan your whole life around fusions. A little bit off topic, but what is your first advice to a small CC? Schedule. And by schedule, I mean, you know what, let's say weekly content output. Think about, am I the kind of guy like me or Ivy that's going to make like 1 to 3 videos a day? Or are you going to be the kind of guy like Ronaldo that makes like, I don't know what Ronaldo's making now. Is it 3 or 4 videos a week? It's all fine. Just decide what that's going to be and stick to it. Because the algorithm will punish you if you slack. So if you want to be, I post twice a week, then do it. And quite frankly, you'll be rewarded if you decide I'm going to do it on Mondays and Wednesdays. But if you just post whenever you have a video ready, over time it could work, but you're not doing yourself any favors. So for me, I try to post, I used to do strictly twice a day. Now occasionally, because I stream so much, I will do once a day. I have never missed a day since I started. You guys can go back and check. I probably average just under 2 videos a day because I do have occasionally 3 videos in a day. I try not to do that. I think when you're starting, maybe you could, but I actually find my views go down when I do 3 videos because I think and my impressions go down, which is how often YouTube shows my content to viewers. And that's basically, I mean, you be honest, guys, how many of you people go into the search bar and search Fastidious? Maybe a couple of you, but most of you guys subscribe to me or you watch my stuff enough that the algorithm suggests me to you. You see it on the sidebar, you see it on up next, you see it on the homepage. So YouTube, the algorithm's like your God. So I think God likes 1 or 2 videos a day, so that's what I do. I'd also say try to figure out, I used to think, maybe it was true when I was at the beginning, but it really mattered what time of day I posted. Granted, I'm not going to post at 11 p.m. In New York, right? That'd be 5 a.m. in Europe, 4 a.m. in London, 8 p.m. in San Francisco or something. It's terrible, right? But I used to be like, I need to post at like 3 p.m. When I lived in Europe. So it was like 9 a.m. Eastern, and then like by noon Eastern, right? I need to do that. And I think it probably did help in the beginning, but now I find as long as I'm steady and I have like a general window and I don't oversaturate, I'm rewarded by the algorithm. And then the other advice would be audio. And the chat can back me up on this. A lot of people, especially with a game like this, I think gaming content in general, people can consume it while they play games. I think a lot of times you don't have someone's full attention. And sorry, I've got a blanket on the floor and it's like taking up my shot. As I talk about attention, I get distracted. But yeah, a lot of times people are like playing the game while they watch you, or they have 2 screens, or you're windowed. A lot of times people will send me screenshots. It's kind of fun. They'll send me screenshots of like, hey, look at this run, right? And then in the corner here is like me, like window and window. They're like watching YouTube while they play the game on desktop or something, or on mobile. Like especially with people with YouTube Premium, I think that's what they do. So your audio is really important. Think of it as like a podcast. My audio is not that great. I work really hard on it. I need to get better. But like Ivy's audio is like so good, right? So a lot of new creators have crashed audio, and that's to be the first place to invest. You can get like a Blue Yeti. I've put that in this. You can get a Blue Yeti for like $30. You can get like a decent mic for like $30 or $50, like for sure. And with OBS, there's a lot of filters if you need them. Just like learn your space. I'd say content schedule consistency, setting realistic expectations to yourself, and then trying to like do your absolute best at everything. Event, and then of course audio I think is really important. Hiram says, thanks for all the content, looking forward to the rest of the artifact tier list. Don't enjoy farming for them at all. Your luck's been horrible. Yeah, I'll be honest guys, that artifact video could not have taken me more time. I think it was 3.5 hours of prep, just getting all the photos ready and stuff. Then building the tier list was famous, like the actual putting it into the software. And then filming took me 42 minutes, and then editing took me about 2 or 2.5 hours. So I hope you guys liked it. I cannot believe I've signed up to do more of that. It is the ultimate headache. I can't believe it. I can't believe how much time it took me, and I can't believe I have 5 more videos to make, and then the big final video. I'm scared thinking about it. Jinx says you have the Silas artifact and skin, but no Silas. Well, that is a tragedy. Destin's is plugging himself again. Hit the like button. Thank you, Boredom. Appreciate that. Chat, time warp. Yeah, I'm doing my best. Destin does do great content. Very great content. Especially for a young Canadian child. I'm very proud of him. To celebrate Women's Day, War will be adding 2 inches to all their heels. Yeah, sounds about right. I just pulled Golden Scarab level 0. Is it better than Keen Wisdom? Almost certainly no. For where you're at. You need some promos into that, and for certain content, the attack, I think, for Keen Wisdom can be overkill, and the Rage Regen can be enough. But you can test it out, but I think for most things, you'll stick with Keen Wisdom for now. Definitely like Guild Boss if you're running a Rage comp. I don't have IX, but yeah, I know I could use IX, but I don't have IX. I don't know. I'll get Shamir eventually. Maybe I'll get him on the 1+1 tomorrow. And again, guys, use the sheet to sign up if you want to do 1+1 tomorrow. Gigs didn't release the collab yet? Oh, I thought maybe... Oh, he said in the morning, but we're in different worlds. So I guess he means Saturday morning, I guess. I don't know. They need to make a hero that looks like Destined. Do what? Just Deimos with googly eyes? Someone should make some kind of mod for the game that they just always place googly eyes on Deimos when you're playing. Destined, well, what would it take, Destined, for you to do a face reveal? God. Can't freaking scroll down again. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, now I found it. Crit damage does not matter. No tests for healers. Can you blame me? No, I can't. It is not worth to sacrifice Vortex for Abomination. Wait till you get an extra copy. Brokkir is bro tier. Event Horizon game. Okay. I don't care. I do this run because it never fails. Even if Valeriya's not wearing gear, this run can't fail. That's why I do this run. It's not for speed. It's just for a speedy run that never fails and that I can swap food in and out of. My Zeal 2 isn't always geared. Constance always has some gear on her. She already either has my best Invix inspo set or the other one. The real Fastidious. That's pretty funny. That I did miss that chance. There's the form. Thank you, Seamus. Your favorite stream? That's awesome, man. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, you guys can ask me any questions you want. I don't care, as long as they're appropriate. If you have Valeriya, you should put 1+1. Yeah, you should. Her A1's nice, but it's like not needed. I have her A0 and I still use her a ton. And then you can go get Brokkir maybe from the 1+1. Nose is itchy. I think I'm almost caught up. No, I'm not. It keeps going. I don't know. I don't agree with you, Dustin. I pulled a lot of lusts for people. I think it's anecdotal. Like, we pulled A2 lusts for someone in like 500 summons. Like, it happens, you know? And then some accounts are like mine and they're arrogance magnets. Full party will be always at 10 a.m. Always at 10 a.m. Spend $100 to $500 every month, and for sure you should do the 1+1. And if you don't have Valeriya, you should do one pity there as well. Pile Renown. Brokkir is a big reason why I can't even complete Nightmare. Why you can even complete it? Yeah, dude, he's so good. Destin got 21 seconds. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty. Your 100 pulls into pity, Marco, sitting on 10 Legos. Boreas, Nocturne, Leia, Aelin, Sadie, Kriya, Lust, Salazar, Regu, Shamir, no legendary mage, got 100 summons. I'd be pretty tempted to do the 1+1 if I was you. I think even with those amazing heroes, you should still. I would be tempted to do Valeriya, because Valeriya pairing with like your Wrath, your Lust, and your Salazar would be just crack. But I think you gotta do the 1+1 because you're still early. You only have 10 legendaries. Crazy that those are your 10. You're a very lucky person. The reason people sleep on defenders, I think, is because like there's a lot of like Livian is like exceptionally good, right? If you want, you can just fuse for A5 Livian, and she's like, she can do almost everything most of the legendaries can. She's really, really good, right? Baron's really, really good. Olog is free. Like Olog and Livian, free right there, right? I haven't built him yet. I don't really intend to use him as a tank. I think my tanks are too good. I'd be shocked. Maybe with Boreas, he could do some cool things for me, especially after if they go through with this nerf. I would be shocked if he could compete with Brokkir or Regulus or I'd be shocked. You have Venoma? Yeah, Venoma helps a lot for this, guys. It definitely saves a couple seconds. Count takeovers are for purchase. There you go, Justin. And we are doing account takeovers back on Twitch tonight, guys. I did like 7 hours of account takeovers last night. Getting them bills paid, baby. You send a spreadsheet to my YouTube email? Okay, thanks, MDL. I'll check later. Do not do what Destin said, event about making fake accounts. I will say, what I will say is when you share links, if you do share links, don't share it from your account because that doesn't really, they don't count that. So what I do is I go on my actual, like my real name, I go on that account and I copy the link there. And then I share that link. Dolores taught me that. Apparently it helps a lot and it hasn't hurt. So I continued doing it. And then usually while I'm in there, I'll let my video run once for sure. And I will like it. You can definitely like your videos. Yeah, I could do this run, guys, with Zeal 2 and Pyros, right? And it could be faster. Zeal 2 Pyros Constants. It is faster. I've done it. I do this run because I'm farming my heroes up. All your questions have been answered? Awesome, Kiddis. I'm very glad. What's up, Cyber? You can see all these heroes are getting leveled. None of these heroes are maxed. That's why they're here. Ooh, Kriya's maxed now. We just maxed her. And this way I know that they're always geared, so it's one less thing for me to worry about. James says you miss Lust, but your pity lines up with 1+1. Well, that's awesome. Doug's, you're hoping to get 1+1 A5 Calypso. Me too. That's like my #1 thing I'm shooting for. I really want A5 Calypso. Honestly, I'd be pretty hyped if I pulled 1+1 and I got A5 Cratch and A5 Calypso, and I did both my 2 first A5s. That'd be pretty sweet. All right, good night, Seamus. Have a good one. Thank you. I'm almost at the bottom. Oh my god. How long have I been going? Ryan, the single reason you beat 319 was your recent video. See, Destin? Do you see comments like that, Destin? I'm just kidding. But you see? I was right. Thank you, Ryan. That means a lot. That's why I do it. I really appreciate it. I'm so mad at myself. You woke up, saw the banner. Oh, no, you pulled on the wrong banner. Oh, yikes, dude. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You did the same thing, Spencer? Oh my god. Yeah. 1+1 is almost always on Saturdays. Your audio is still trash? Indeed it is. Imagine how many views you'd actually get if your audio wasn't trash. What sheet is there for? I have one old sheet. I YOLO Divine my Valeriya. You're good with 1+1? That's a nice YOLO. Legendary Hero Packs again? I don't know. Next time they need money. You have not done another one? I'm gonna just have to do it. Well, Destin, I've been planning this for, I don't know, since October. And I knew how much work it would be, so I've just been delaying it. But I told myself I'd have the tier list done by the time I launch my website, so. Do I like fish sticks? I do, yeah. Not my favorite, but I do, yeah. You just got A3 Volca study? Congrats. The post party's always at 10 a.m. 200 summons, 2 lust and an arrogance. You freak. My God, Jacob. Good night, event. Have a good one. Face reveal at 100k subs. I like it. Dude, what if you're gorgeous? Guys, what if Destin is just absolutely gorgeous? Like, he shines so bright we have to look away, but we can't. Need to get Cetrum out, Alex? Yeah, dude, tell me about it. I work miracles with some accounts. I appreciate that. It's not miracles. I really think there's no one as persistent as me. I will not stop until I get it. All your GR clears because of my videos. Thank you so much, Joseph. And I reached the bottom, baby. Wait, Destin's not this 19-year-old Canadian kid. Actually, he looks just like Shamir. All right, I think we're gonna end the Q&A there, guys. I'll take like 3 more questions if anybody wants, but otherwise we're gonna end it there. Be sure to like the stream, guys. We're almost at 100 likes. I would certainly appreciate if we could hit 100. I can't get over. What if Destin is like a freaking model? He's just actually gorgeous. All right, we got enough for 2 10 pulls, baby. Laurel alternative? I mean, I beat all main content without Laurel up until like the late stuff. Like, you can watch my 219 guide. I use no Laurel, no Dolores, no Sadie, no Northerner Lord thing. I just use Regulus. Thank you, Vice. 9 likes away from 100. Come on, baby. All right, wish me luck, guys. I really just want a Golden Scarab and an Astral Obelisk, the new ones, and then dupes for Mithril. You're trying to use A1 Maul or Allura. If Allura's A0, I would do Maul, probably. No tier list yet. Next Ancient Banner, probably pretty soon, but no idea when. I really hope it's Valderon. I have enough for pity now. I'm over 50. All right, we'll take it. I can sell all this stuff. Come on, baby. What's that? Is that 1,000, baby? Did we just get 1,000? Hey. Come on, give me some 1K in the chat, baby. Come on, baby. So I'm at, and I haven't done my stuff yet this week, but so for Valderon, I am at 51, I believe 52, so I'll definitely be at 60. I'm only about 40 or 45 away from pity. I think. It won't be more than that. It could be less. I'm guaranteed my Legendary Lord pity. So it's taking some restraint, but I will wait for Valderon. That is who I want. Desperately. I would also be very happy with Gone, but I want Valderon. The last time I pulled Ancients, we could find it out. Everyone should wait. I'm waiting. I think these are very nice comments.
everybody, what's going
The video's up with. Oh, it came out 20 minutes ago. This is the video with J Gigs. I'm actually so excited to watch this. Maybe we'll watch the beginning right now and I'll react. This was so much fun to film. Me and Gigs filmed for 4 hours because then we did a Guild Boss Sega for him that I'm posting tomorrow. And sweet God, it took so long. You got gone? That's amazing. Can I sort by like most recent? Why can't I do? Okay. I just gotta find the last time I post too much. We gotta find the last time I pulled Ancients. That's how long it took me to save. And all the Ancients are free to play. Obviously, I didn't buy any Ancients. I don't buy anything. I definitely didn't do the year. Oh, this is it last time. Really? Oh, but this was a week late. So I did one 10 pull. A month ago. This would have been. They released this a week late, I think. And that's when I got Kata. So in about a month, which is insane, actually. Slightly less than a month, slightly more than a month, maybe. I'd have to find the file. Do you remember when that one was? This would be I think it was the one. It was the one before Demi and Eunomia. That would have been probably the week before. So pretty efficient, yeah. I haven't missed a single one. But also we had Codex, right? So we get another 10 from Codex. And we had the Valentine's Day event. I think I got one from that. I'll be honest, guys. I've gotten like 3 or 4 Ancients the past month, I think, from Guild Boss. Ryan, yeah, so I am 100% free to play. I'm obviously I don't claim that I'm indicative of the free to play experience in any way. I get diamonds. I will say I'm getting less diamonds nowadays, but it's still a ton, right? It's a ton. Many money's worth of diamonds, but I've never spent on the game, so I don't have cool things that people really sleep on. Like, I don't have the privilege card. I've never had it. You know, so this is 30% chance for extra drops. So in my tens and maybe 100,000 plus runs I've had, I missed out on 30,000 artifacts, 30,000 pieces of gear, right? I've wasted so much more stamina, all these little things, so much extra gold, so much extra XP I don't get. Yeah, I get 2 every week, right? From Void Rift, a ton from Codex, Arena every week. Someone could go watch the Kata video. I might have actually not pulled everything. I might have just done a 10 pull. I don't remember. I don't know if that made me dry. Actually check.
Metagenics gets to the root of whole body health with pure, potent ingredients sourced from nature.
Wish me luck. Let's rip it. Close the video and I can wait for the first of these to get prepared for that GR3 thing. Click on it. Let's rip it. Is this a good decision? I frickin' hope so. Yeah, it was exactly 10. And actually, I think I showed the calendar. Did I? The Terra. No, I didn't. I don't remember when this was. I'd have to go find the stream, I think. We struck gold. It could have been. Trying to look for anything to cue me in on when this was. This was when there was 11 days and 4 hours left in the Festival of Luminance. Thanks a lot, Ludog. Appreciate that. Did we get that 100 like, baby? We did. Amazing. All right, I'll do a quick little... I'm going to make a video on how to artifact cleanse. It'll be short because the way I artifact cleanse is really simple, but you guys can watch me do it now if you're interested. I save a copy of every legendary, and then I know there's some that if I was earlier on, I would save a couple copies of, like this, but for ones that I just know I will never use now, they only save one copy. Somehow I'm just never pulling Watchguard Ambition. I sold off like everything to make space during some event, and then I was like, oh, I'll just get more because I really want to max out a Watchguard's Ambition, and now I can never get it. It's not just the one, though. I have some heroes wearing it, to be fair, but... Okay. And this, the Crest of Thunder and the Price Layer, I always sell. They're trash. If you have any mythic artifacts, they're just baby versions of much better artifacts. Legion Epitaph. And then it's about knowing your account, right? So like I know I have a maxed out Scarlet Hunt and I'm not really looking to build another one, so I only needed one extra, right? I wish they showed you all your equipped ones. That would be great. You can always skip ads. You waiting for the video? Well, I hope it helped, man. I hope it helped. All right, let's see. What do I want to build right now? I'm like already out of Mithril. You see this thing? I haven't done much testing. I will, but I would think at base level, I would think certainly it's max at Spirit Siphon. Other than that, I would think probably his exclusive. Yes, I'm working on it, as you can see. I'm working on a second one. I just have no Mithril, ever. It's tragic. Alright guys, I'm going to move over to Twitch right now. And guys, if you don't know, I stream on Twitch every day, Watch of Realms, so as long as you're not incredibly Twitch-averse. I do think it's a bit more fun, because I can play whatever music I want since I choose not to monetize it. Really just for fun and for us to all hang out. I think it's like a filler atmosphere, Viceroy, and some people can speak to it. But yeah, I'm going to head over there now. I've got a bunch of takeover stuff to do. Let me actually set that up first. Let me message some of the takeover people. Let me get signed in. Oh, wait, let's do a quick live react. I'm going to just move over to Twitch so I can listen to whatever music. But really quickly. I want to watch the beginning of Gig's video together, and then we'll move over. I stream on Twitch and on YouTube. I stream on Twitch every day. I stream on YouTube a lot of the days.
We got a fun one here today, and we're doing a. Everybody, what's going on? We got a fun one here today, and we're doing a. We figured we'd bring Fastidious on to talk about this because it's a fun conversation. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, and I'm excited to do this because I'm not going to give you I'm not going to give you the content you think you're getting.
All right. Well, I'm very excited. You've warned me several times that these are not going to be good, so I'm very interested to see. Like, are we talking like morning talk show host collab or something?
Oh, can I do that? I can.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
So anyway, the collab we're doing is about collabs for Watcher of Realms. We want to talk about. You've noticed a lot of these mobile games have been doing this for the last few years. We want to talk about some collabs we would like to see in Watcher of Realms, something that would get us stoked up, maybe even get Fastidious to pull that wallet out and grab a couple
It would have to
skins.
be. It would be one hell of a collab.
So I think
they got Biden.
God, dude, imagine.
I'll go on the record if they get a Joe and Kamala banner. I'm in.
Yeah, dude, that would be so insane. Just real people, just real regular people.
My dad.
So I think you want me to go first?
I really do.
Okay, all right. So the way we're doing this, I'm sending him pictures as I go through. I used ChatGPT to make some images of some of the things that that are part of my ideas. So let's go with the first one.
Can I do some behind the scenes really quick?
Yeah.
So you've already sent me one just as an example of what you did. It's awesome. You're going to show this on the screen, right?
Yeah.
It's like AI created amazing. You did all this hard work. And I asked you last night when we talked, like, do mine have to be good? And you said no. And I said, great. And I haven't thought about it again until now.
You're just looking around the room. Hot dogs. It'd be cool if they did hot dogs in the game. All right. So my first one, I'm going to go ahead and send you the picture now. You ever watch Rugrats?
Oh, so we are doing the same thing here. Okay, yeah.
I'm just kidding. This one's just a joke.
Okay.
But that's Tommy Pickles. That's Tommy Pickles if he was in Watcher of Realms. I had it make him as a fighter, so I thought that was pretty appropriate.
Looks stronger than Cratch.
It would go kind of hard, honestly. All right, my real first one. Let's go X-Men. We'll call my first one X-Men. And I already sent you the picture of Colossus.
This one actually looks so cool.
Which is super dope. I did him as a defender. So let's see. Let me find the other ones that were X-Men. There's some really
this
cool
one
ones in
looks
here.
so good. I don't know much about comics. I thought this was like a still from a comic. This looks amazing.
Yeah,
All right, guys. I'm gonna head over to Twitch right now. I just set it all up. So yeah, see you there in 30 seconds if you want to join me. I hope you do. Even just to say hi, maybe drop a follow. Who knows? Oh, I just saw I missed one last question from Brian. You said 16 days into my account, I have 100. Yes, you absolutely should. If you're 16 days into your account, the 1+1, there's nothing better for you. Absolutely, you should. All right, guys. See you over there. Thanks so much.